Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation, if anything, and leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Leo. We're going to start with looking at overall energy before we dive into tarot. So we're going to start by looking at your recent past. The overall energy for Leo's recent past. Overall energy here. What has Leo been dealing with? Bring love into the situation. Nothing is set in stone, and it's time to release negativity. So definitely an energy of things feeling very up in the air. Almost as if like it's a feeling of being very ungrounded, and sometimes that energy can lead to feeling very unsafe, feeling as if you're there's no certainty in your reality of some sort. And I don't necessarily know what happened, but this bring love into the situation card is interesting because to me, it's, that presence of a divine love, divine guidance, and knowing that even when things feel unsafe and even when things are up in the air, the more that we can lean on believing that we are supported, guided, the more that we can kind of navigate those situations with a little bit more peace. It's time to release negativity card makes me feel as if, I don't know if it's like a transformative phase. I don't know if it's a phase of kind of releasing things that aren't serving you, but I do very much feel, and I think that we'll get more information on like what's really going on when we do start to dive into tarot, but I feel like whatever has been going on in your reality has put you in this position of feeling as if things are very unpredictable almost, which again can be a really scary feeling, a really scary place to be. The unknown is our ego's worst nightmare. It's where our fear lives. It's where the doubt, the insecurity lives, but it's also where miracles can take place. So I think the unknown it can be a good thing too. But let's see what Leo's dealing with in their current energy. Okay. You and your loved ones are safe. That's certainly important for you guys right now, especially because of this energy of something happening to make you feel very unsafe. It's like this reassurance to know that you are safe, like you are protected. And you be bold and make the first move with confidence is your key to success. This is interesting. Be bold and make the first move. It almost feels like you're being pushed toward something. I don't know if it's a new beginning, starting something new. It's like you're being triggered into something. I don't know. And it's whatever this is being triggered by what you've kind of been dealing with recently. Triggered into something. Not something bad. It might not feel good, like if it's leaving something or walking away from something, but it could also be like starting something new, or, I don't really know. It's like why wouldn't I go for it? Like, I don't know. It's a very freeing energy. It's almost like you're being pushed into making some sort of a decision that like maybe you didn't want to make for a really long time, or like we're afraid of making, or putting off making, taking some sort of action, and needing to know ultimately just overall that you are very supported and guided, I feel like is very important for you right now. especially because this energy, when things feel very up in the air, it's really easy to feel very lost. What does Leo need to know about their immediate future? A new start is coming. Okay. And then on the bottom you have conclusions are within reach here, but I'm going to keep seeing if there's meditate and contemplate. And then again, bottom of the deck, conclusions are within reach. So I don't know what this is necessarily talking about, but you are headed towards some new beginning. And I feel like this new beginning wouldn't have been possible without whatever happened back here. And this new beginning, it feels very powerful. It feels not just new in the sense of like new to you, but like new in the sense that like it has required you to step into a new version of you too. So it's not just a new experience, but it's a reflection of kind of like a new phase of your life almost. This meditate and contemplate card is definitely about getting in touch with the divine guidance within, like making sure that you are very in tune with that support, because I feel like whatever this is talking about, it requires you to be very connected, to very much rely on your intuition. And I think that, I feel like typically for those of us in the spiritual space, we are pretty good at leaning on our intuition. But sometimes when we're making big decisions or we're outside of our comfort zone, it can get a little bit more challenging to understand what is your intuition and what's your ego, especially when there's a lot of fear involved. So that's why I feel like making sure that you're creating space to kind of get outside of your head and tap into that inner guidance system, because I feel like I don't know where you're being led to, but you're being led to somewhere that's very aligned. It's like it's where you want to be. This is interesting. Excited to look at what the story is here. Okay, overall theme of this reading for Leo. Overall theme, what does Leo need to know? New moon, which a new start is, whoa. So this is full moon. You have full moon and then mutable moon, cardinal moon, new moon, new moon, new moon. And this is new moon in Cancer, this is new moon in Pisces. So this is like closing out something, right? Because this is the only full moon that we see, and stepping into a new beginning. And then you have the new moon as the overall energy here. And these cards really give a very similar vibe to me, right? And I feel like it's almost like the way that I could look at this. And obviously, yes, these are moons, but I feel like this is also about like stepping into a portal to a new life, almost like a new phase of your life, or a new level of awakening in a sense. Let's see what else we've got here. Overall theme of this reading for Leo. It didn't turn all the way around. I didn't even see what the card was. It was green, but knowledge. So it's almost like you've learned a lot. Like I feel like I'm speaking to a collective that has learned and grown a lot. And now it's time to take that and put it into practice in some sort of way. Which I feel like is what this Be Bold and Make the First Move card is about. Because yeah, again, I still get this, like you're being triggered into making some sort of move or some sort of decision, or maybe to ending some sort of cycle or starting a new cycle, like whatever might resonate for you. And I feel like it's coming at a really good time for you guys too, because I don't know, I kind of get this feeling that you've been pretty fed up with how things have been for a while, and you're ready for this new beginning. And I think that for those of you who've been kind of like doing the inner work and working towards something new, I feel like this is very much the time you start to see that come to fruition. So let's see. We're going to dive deeper now into the story. Let's start with this past energy. It's time to release negativity with nothing is yet set in stone. What does Leo need to know? Page of Swords in reverse. This is just this energy of being so over it. Like, that's what I heard, just over it, being over it. And I feel like that comes usually right before, like, change really starts to happen, as we get to this place where we're like, I am so tired of, like, things being the way that they are. Or I'm so tired of this outcome, or I'm so tired of this reality, or whatever the case is. And I feel like you reached that place. I like for the cards to turn all the way around or hit the table, recent past for Leo, because then it sparked this Hermit energy. It's like doing, and the Hermit to me is all about like inner reflection, you know, sitting with yourself, and it can represent like healing or just kind of like deeper insights. But I feel like something, it's like getting to this place of just being like, I'm so over it. But whatever like change was needed or whatever was happening, it put you into a place of like a lot of fear. Because I feel like you were in, because sometimes we don't realize that when we're in places that align with what we're used to, that there's actually a really big part of us, even if it's not what makes us happy or what fulfills us, that wants to stay there because it's predictable. It's what keeps us feeling a false sense of control, a false sense of safety, because it's predictable and we know how it's going to feel, even if that feeling is negative. And I feel like what I've really learned is that sometimes the universe like pushes our buttons to get us to do something about our situation. So whether it's being in an unhealthy relationship or in a job or whatever the situation is, I feel like sometimes the universe pushes us to this point of being like, I am so over this. I can't continue to like stay in these spaces or accept this. Like, I have to create change. And I feel like that's what this past energy was really about. Was again kind of getting to this place of like, I can't do this anymore. Which isn't, I feel like a lot of times it can feel like giving up. It feels like maybe you're giving up on something, or that you're, weak, or that you can't. That's not it at all. I think that sometimes we get to certain places where we're like, this isn't what I deserve, or there's got to be more than this, or there's got to be something better for me out there. And I think that whatever happened, it was scary, and like I said, it put you into this place of feeling like everything is very up in the air. But, and I said this at the very beginning, but in that unknown, yes, that's where our fear lives, our doubt, our insecurity, but that's also where possibility lives. That's where the potential for miracles live. That's where opportunity lives. So this Ace of Pentacles in reverse to me represents something that is meant for you that hasn't quite been able to manifest yet. So that means that there's some sort of new beginning, some sort of opportunity that aligns with your highest good that exists, but hasn't been able to find its way to you because of the places that you've been stuck in, or the people and situations that you've been dealing with that didn't really align with you. And I think that one of the best things that I ever did was get to that place of being like, nope, like I'm done accepting less than what I deserve. Like, I would rather be alone and have nothing than settle, or then stay in places or in relationships or situations where I'm undervalued, or where I'm not treated well or respected. And I think that that's kind of what happened for you, Leo. It feels like the universe kind of like pushed you into you basically going, this is the last straw. And I think that that can be really hard because, a lot of people live a majority of their life in denial, not wanting to face the reality of how things really are and how they really feel, because change is so scary, and change doesn't happen until staying the same becomes more painful than change feels. And that is where a lot of people might live lifetimes in the exact same place, in the exact same mindset, in the exact same experiences, because it's so much easier to stay the same than it is to change. But sometimes because the universe will never allow us to truly settle, to find peace, to find happiness, to find fulfillment where we are not meant to settle. And when we're in spaces where we don't belong, or where we're not treated well or valued, or whatever the case is, the universe will push you into movement. And I feel like that is what happened here. Now that doesn't mean that it's easy, okay? I'm not saying this is easy at all, but I feel like this is you really stepping into your power, and you ultimately your co-creation power to say, like, I'm only going to accept what is meant for me and nothing less. I've always said that manifesting the life that you desire really comes with 2 steps, and it's getting very clear on what it is that you want and saying no to anything that isn't that. But easy in theory, not so easy in practice. What does Leo need to know about their current energy? You are safe, though. You're safe, you're protected. I feel like your path is very protected. I feel like you're heavily guided. And I think that a lot of where what you're going through right now is just kind of the natural process of change. Things feeling uncertain, feeling up in the air. Now, I might be dealing with a collective who's avoiding these truths, who's like, nothing needs to change, everything's fine, but then is like secretly not super happy. And maybe that's kind of where this awakening to the need for change is really coming from. All right, current energy for Leo. What does Leo need to know about their current energy? The Star. So, see, this is inspiration. I feel like you're being divinely inspired right now, inspired to take some sort of step, start something new, leave something behind. I don't know what it is. But there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear in association with whatever this is. Fear of not being good enough, fear of not finding anything better if you're leaving something behind, fear of, not being supported, not being guided, not being lovable, whatever the case might be. And I will say that everything that we desire lives on the other side of our fear. Like, it's so true. And like, it sounds very, I feel like, generic, but like, it is so radically true that the things that we desire, the life that we desire, lives on the other side of the fear that we don't believe we can have it, or we don't believe it's possible, or we don't believe exists, or we don't believe we can get there. And the reason for that is, if we have the fear that we can never have anything better, that we're not meant for more, that we can't be happy or fulfilled in some way, we will settle for less. We will stay in places and in situations that don't value us, or don't treat us well, or don't make us happy, or don't fulfill us in some way, because it is easier to accept less than what you deserve than to face the fear that you can never have anything better. Now, side note, nothing can ever truly make us happy sustainably in this life. Nothing outside of us. We are responsible for being our own source of happiness. But the things outside of us, the things in our life, should certainly add to that happiness and to that positivity, not take away from it, and not be the source of our negativity. And I feel like this is talking about things in your life that are the source of your negativity. That for a while, like, I feel like you've been putting up with it, maybe because you just can, maybe you're like, it's fine, like, I can handle this. But capacity does not equal obligation. You are not obligated to stay in places that don't value you or treat you well or respect you just because you can, okay? You are very strong, you're very capable, absolutely. You don't need to stay in places that make you consistently have to be strong. You deserve to be in places where you can feel safe and protected and soft too, because that is important. So I feel like right now there are a lot of reasons that you might be kind of fighting against to make some sort of change, or to step out of your comfort zone in some sort of way. And I feel like that fear is valid and it's understandable. And I'm not trying to downplay your reasons. I'm sure you've got your reasons. But the bigger question to be asking yourself is, if I continue to settle for less than what I deserve, that guarantees I can never have it, right? That guarantees that you will never have the things that you deserve and desire. So the question is, what if I tried to believe that I was deserving of more? Where might that take me, But then there's probably a lot of fear that arises whenever that starts to come up. So I feel like in terms of where you're, at right now, you're kind of being given this opportunity to make change in your life. I feel like you might be literally receiving like divinely guided downloads which is why I feel like you have this meditate and contemplate card about your immediate future, because you might be literally experiencing like inspiration to start something, inspiration to move, to do whatever that means for you, to move, to do something. And I feel like right now is a time to really follow that inspiration despite the fear. It's definitely like a be scared and do it anyway kind of energy, because that's what is going to take you to where you want to go. Because like I said, there is some sort of opportunity here that hasn't, some sort of new beginning that hasn't been able to manifest yet, because we only have so much energy, right? Think of your energy as an energy cup. You only have so much that you can hold. And if you're holding on to things that don't serve you or don't fulfill you, or even worse, that take from you or add to your negativity, then the things that are really meant for you and that are going to be able to add to your peace and your happiness are going to not be able to find its way into your energy cup. You're not going to be able to attract them because your energy is being taken up by the wrong things. So whatever this is talking about, I feel like the universe is kind of triggering you into making a move, and has been for a while. And again, I feel like you've kind of reached this place of being pretty over it, but now it's like the ball is in your court. It's really up to you to make the change, to do something about it. And you might be like, but there's so much out of my control. Absolutely there is, and that's part of the fear, right? And again, I don't want to downplay that or the logic that you have in response to that. But what I do want to encourage you to do is to ask yourself, am I maybe in some ways holding myself back by not choosing to go after the things that I do truly deserve? Or am I maybe holding myself back by staying in places that don't value me or make me feel good or make me feel loved or supported or valued or whatever the case is? Because like it's very much like a now's the time. Now's the time. What does Leo need to know moving forward? Ooh, okay. 2 of Cups, 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Swords, and the Devil. Let's talk about it. First of all, you have no idea how far this can take you. I mean, looking at the 10 of Pentacles here, I feel like this is to me always like the material manifestation of like fulfillment, abundance, whatever that looks like to you, whatever this is talking about. So this is like the Ace of Pentacles leads to the 10 of Pentacles. This is finding the outcome that it is that you're looking for. The 2 of Cups and the 4 of Swords to me represents really needing to get in tune with you. I have learned, and one of the things that I talk about tremendously on this channel is that the majority of the decisions that we make and the reasons why we do the things that we do stems from the way that our subconscious has been wired. And our subconscious has been wired based on the experiences that we've been through. So let's break this down. If you haven't experienced the abundance that you desire or deserve, the love that you desire and deserve, the happiness you desire and deserve, the fulfillment, the peace, whatever it is, you are going to believe subconsciously that it isn't possible. So you are going to continue to stay in places and in situations that align with the abundance that I desire and deserve isn't possible, which is going to basically, you are think of it backwards. I'm going to accept less than I desire and deserve because I don't think it's possible, which is going to basically solidify that you're never going to have the things you desire and deserve. Now is a time for believing in possibility. I think that one of the coolest things about a spiritual journey, a healing journey, is that you get to uncover all of the limitations that have been placed on you throughout your life, whether it's through your parents, through society, through your relationships, through your experiences, whatever the case is. There have been certain limitations that have been placed on you and what you believe is possible for yourself and your life. Now, that's not your fault, right? What you've been through and how you've internalized that, and that majority of you that makes those decisions, that's not your fault. But that's why healing and manifesting the life that you do truly deserve and desire goes so hand in hand, because right now, I feel like, or in the past, or as things have been, I feel like you've been very disconnected from yourself, disconnected from what it is you truly want, from what it is that you truly deserve. And almost as if there's this energy of like justifying the situations that you've been in from this place of like, this is good enough, like this person's fine. Like there are things, there are positives, even though like majority of the time there's this energy of, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilled, this is adding more negativity to my life. I feel like there's might be some justification there. I encourage you, and now is the time, Leo, that these things are really coming to light. Encourage you to ask yourself, in what ways am I holding myself back from the life that I truly desire because I don't think I can have it? And what experiences have I been through that have taught me that I can't have the things that I truly deserve and desire? Because the only person, and this is the hardest thing I've ever learned, but the best thing I've ever learned, the only person that is ever going to come into your life and make your life better and create positive change is you. You are the only person who can consistently and sustainably create positive change in your life. Sure, you can get into a relationship, it feels really good for the first couple of years, eventually that wears off and you're left with you. You start something new, you reach a goal, it's really exciting, it feels really good, eventually that wears off and you're left with you. If you are unhappy with what you are doing on a day-to-day basis and the life that you are investing in on a day-to-day basis, you will consistently find yourself back at a place of being unhappy. So if you want to create change in your life, throw out the map, throw out the guidebook, throw out the blueprints of what you have been taught is possible for you, and start thinking outside of the box and start not being so afraid to dream bigger for yourself. Like, I feel like that's really what this is about. The devil is about attachment. It's about staying attached to people, to situations, because it creates a false sense of safety, even though those things aren't what make you happy. And I feel like I understand why you've done that, but this is the time. That's what this reading is about. Like, now is the time for you to throw all of that out, all of what you've been taught, and to start to adopt new beliefs for yourself and start to think, what if I could have the life of my dreams? What does that really look like? And what would I do? And how would my day-to-day look? And what would my relationships be like? And how would I feel? And, start asking yourself those deeper questions, and you'll start to understand that where you're being led are to the places that you don't think you can go, which is why there's so much fear associated with the change, is because in your mind, it's, well, this can only be bad, because there's so much that is out of your control right now, which is where your fear lives. But again, that's also where possibility lives. That's also where this 10 of Pentacles that you've been looking for lives. So I really like this reading. I feel like it's, kind of some tough love or some deeper truth. So I don't think everyone's going to like this reading, that's for sure. But I do think that, the best thing that I can understand, or the biggest thing that I can understand from this reading is, like, you've been holding yourself back. You've been playing it small for entirely too long. And now is the time to basically say, instead of saying, like, why not me? Why can't I be happy? Why can't I experience love? Why can't I find success? It's why not you? It's not why not you? It's why not you, right? Like, yeah, you can have it. It can happen to you. You can experience those good things. You are meant to experience a life full of joy and abundance. That doesn't mean, what you might not have, right? Your life probably hasn't been full of joy and abundance if this reading is for you and you're trying to create this kind of positive change. But that doesn't mean you can't have it. Now, I'm not saying your life has been miserable and that everything's been horrible or anything like that, but sometimes, again, we settle for less than what we desire and deserve because we don't think we can have anything better. Now is the time to dream bigger. Now is the time to believe you can have better and to act on that belief. That's the biggest thing. Action is how you create. And acting in the belief that you're deserving of more is where that really starts with, where that really comes from. I'm excited for you guys. This is very, it's a very cool time in your life. There might be, like I said, a lot up in the air, but don't let that freak you out. I know it's easier said than done, but thank you so much, Leo, as always, for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into these messages, looking at what you need to do right now, or what you can do right now to move forward in alignment with your higher self. All of the information for that is in the description box below. And as always, Leo, I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things that you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Leo.